Hey, what's up you guys? After Show Reaction. Today I'm going to be reacting to the second last episode ever of The 100. So this is season 7, episode 15. So technically I'm supposed to be recording 15 and 16 today and be posting them today, but I'm not gonna. I'm only going to be recording and posting episode 15 today. And then I'm going to do 16 tomorrow. Why? I don't know. Maybe you're just going to have to wait to find out. I don't know. Anyways. I think it's no secret that the last 2 episodes really got under my skin. It's been a whole week and it's still an issue for me, but I'm kind of over it. Maybe. Until I read your comments. But right now I'm not steaming, so there's that. I'm going in with, you know, a fresh mindset, I suppose. But yeah. Let's go over the comments, shall we? Also, I don't think anyone commented about my thumbnails. I was really proud of my thumbnails and nobody said anything, I don't think. I'm very offended. Anyways. I just want to say I understand why Clark did what she did. She wanted to protect Maddie. If they knew who made the book, then Maddie would be in danger. And only Bellamy knew who made the book. Clark would do anything to protect her daughter. She lost everybody she ever loved, and she will do whatever it takes to protect her daughter. I know at the end it was pointless, but she didn't know what would happen with Maddie later, and she did what she thought she had to do in the moment to keep Maddie safe. But we've already had this story, like, in, what was it, season 5? Where, you know, she aimed a gun at Bellamy because of Maddie. And she didn't shoot him then. So why now? I know if I had to kill my best friend just for the chance of my child being safe, I might have done it, because if she did nothing, then Maddie would 100% not be safe. But with what she did, there was a chance. Clark is just over everything. Also, Clark never really grieved her mother's death, so that could also be why she's so snappy and trigger happy. I mean, I feel like you're just trying to justify what she did, because you can't justify it. It's not justifiable. I'm sorry. There's also so many things that a person can go through before they snap, and Clark has been through more than most people. Absolutely. And you know what? If they indicated that she snapped, that would make sense. But no, that's not what they were indicating at all. She just did it. She did it because the writing told her to do it. If I'm being honest, I never felt anything when Bellamy died. I'm sorry, I know that's a very unpopular opinion, but I never really cared about him, and that's fine. You can, like, not care about a character. But the thing is, you can not care about a character and still understand the, ramifications of a decision like that. Just because you don't like them doesn't mean that it makes sense for Clark to have killed him. I did start caring about him more when I rewatched with you, though. At least the death was shocking. See, a death for shock value like that, it's in poor taste. This is the final season, so they're just going crazy and killing everybody off. Lol. That's fine. You know what? If a TV show wants to kill people, that's fine. Look, here's the problem, alright? I'm not angry that he died on the show, okay? I'm not angry. I'm angry that in the circumstances of his death. We already had a fake out death earlier in the season. And then he had like a full episode, indicating, his new beliefs or whatever. And then an episode later he gets killed again. Like, he gets actual killed. And it was like a, you betrayed us kind of killing. Like, no, it doesn't fit. It does not work thematically. If he had more of a heroic death, it would make a lot more sense. 100%. I think he should have had a heroic death instead of whatever the fuck this was. I'm okay with Bellamy dying. I'm not okay with the way that he died. And I think, I've gone through a couple of people's reactions of this happening, and I'm pretty sure that, there's quite a huge consensus of the fact that it's not about him dying, it's about the way he died. And how disrespectful it is to his character and the fans of the show. And the fans of the books as well. I really am sorry you didn't like these episodes, and I understand and respect your opinion. I hope you can enjoy the last 2 episodes. Me too. I really do hope. I don't want to go out on shows, unhappy and bitter. I want to enjoy shows. I really do. Honestly, I think if it had another season, they could totally fix all the mistakes from season 7. Although it wouldn't bring Bellamy back, but it could have fixed issues that, and made it have a big impact on the show, and have it known how important and loved his character was. Well, I mean, it kind of just depends on, the creator of the show, if he actually took constructive criticism from this season going forward, if he did get another season. That all just kind of depends on the creator of the show, if he's the kind of person that sticks to his guns or will actually listen to constructive criticism, because there are 2 different types of creators out there. It wouldn't fix the mistake of killing him, but it at least would have been better for just moving on. Before I give my thoughts, I would like to preface this by saying I only started watching this show from the beginning of season 5. Interesting, so you've not even seen season 1 through 4. It's what are the better seasons of the show? This is because I started watching alongside you, and that's the part you were up to at that point, so my knowledge of the characters and their personality is limited. It's interesting that you just, started halfway through. I never understand how people do that. I would want the full context, but, I mean, if you enjoyed it that way, that's fine. Ever since they started this weird and sudden religious saga for Bellamy, I've been wondering why. Not only was I, as a viewer, not convinced that his character would betray his friends and that he and be brainwashed so easily, but it felt so sudden and random. Absolutely. I would ask myself, why now? Do we really have time for this side story where we go through the typical cycle of betrayal, redemption, and forgiveness? The series is literally about to end. I guess this episode showed us the purpose of his religious journey was so that Clark would have a reason to kill him for dramatic effect. Too sudden, too fast, and too forced. Absolutely. And you only have half the context. Sorry, not convincing at all. I'm not against characters dying. Me too. But why not something heroic for Bellamy's death? It would have been a more beautiful end to his character. Absolutely. See, that's the thing. I feel like TV shows, sometimes in their final season, they like to go for shock. Game of Thrones did it. They tried to, do some shocking stuff. But that's the thing. You want to have an emotional... you have fans for a TV show for, 7, 8 years, whatever. And the idea is you want to be able to fulfill what we want, but also give us things that we didn't know what we wanted. You know, sometimes a character can thematically make sense to die, that we don't want to die, but it makes sense. And it can lead you on an emotional journey. If you just kill a character off like they did with Bellamy, it just kind of puts a really bitter taste in your mouth. And if you really fuck that kind of stuff up, it can hurt your viewing experience. Like, so many TV shows you can just rewatch again and again and again. How many TV shows, like, can you say that you've seen at least 3 or more times? I feel like, for example, with Game of Thrones, because the show ended so poorly, I can never go back and rewatch that show. Same thing with How I Met Your Mother. I can never go back and watch it because I know how it ends, and I don't like the ending. And it's like, it's one of those, you either have like a neutral ending where everyone's kind of okay with it. You know, some people will be upset with it, but majority of people are fine with it. Or you can have an ending that is so divisive that you've killed off half your fan base and they're never going to rewatch your show. And I feel like that this show is going down the route of alienating a whole portion of the audience. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making any sense in trying to explain this. And now let's get to the part that really shocked me. Echo and Octavia literally gave 0 fucks. Yeah, my dad fucking broke me. Huh? Hello? That's your brother. And what about Echo? Didn't we just finish talking about her mental breakdown? I guess because there was honestly, the only reason they were like, oh, it's okay, is because we didn't have enough time. They didn't want to go down the route of having an argument, like being mad at Clark again. Everyone was like, Liam Duke said this, but everyone was needlessly mean to Clark last season over I don't know, I don't even remember what, but needlessly angry at her. But, you know, she kills Bellamy and they're just like, nah, it's okay. I'm okay with that. That bitch deserved to die. Wasn't it over Bellamy being dead? Huh? It's so illogical that both Echo and Octavia would believe Bellamy couldn't be saved. Exactly. Fucking Octavia literally turned people into cannibals. She was Blood Rainer. And apparently that's more redeemable than, I don't know, being a little bit brainwashed. The worst part is they didn't even have all the full information about the situation. They never sat down with Bellamy and was like, okay, explain to us why do you feel this way? They're just like, oh, he's religious now, we need to kill him. What does that say about religion? We lost him a long time ago, my ass. The religious storyline really just started. He definitely could have been saved. Absolutely. Oh, and the very next episode, Maddie voluntarily went to the bad guys anyway, so Bellamy died for nothing. He died for nothing because, you know, she left the sketchbook behind anyways. But, yeah, no shit. Fucking, Maddie, you made it all, absolutely fucking worthless. Ugh. It's probably easier than to accept his death, since before recently they were under the impression that he was dead for months, and at that point they had already grieved, and it wouldn't hurt as badly. No, they hadn't fully grieved. They were still not accepting it. They weren't at acceptation. Exception. That's not a word. I mean, it is a word, but that's not the correct word I'm going for. Whatever. Especially since when he did come back, he was completely different, so the line, we lost him a long time ago, does make sense to me. No. But I do agree with Bellamy having more of a heroic death. Maybe have him die protecting Maddie and Clark. I wish I could feel more about his death and character, but I just can't. And that's fine. You're okay to not like a character. It is fine. I just think it's a worthless fucking mistake of a death. He was never one of my favorite characters. He was just neutral to me. But Clark definitely snapped here. I'm honestly not surprised either. She showed a bit of that in the beginning of the season. But that's the thing. You can't just show something at the beginning of the season and then bring it back at the end of the season. You need to have a through line. Because otherwise it's not well developed. When she burned down the building when she was going to kill Russell. She's mentally messed up right now. If any of us went through all the stuff that she went through, it would be far worse if we even survived. I agree, but there was no through line, so it didn't make sense. Sure, I can perhaps see it being easier to grieve Bellamy's death for Echo and Octavia, since they already thought he was dead for months. However, to have an easier time grieving someone, you need to actually grieve them first. What we saw was not good enough. Not even close to good enough for me. On the "we lost him a long time ago" line, I think you're only looking at the literal interpretation of the line rather than the deeper point. Of course, this religious journey for Bellamy happened a while ago, although with all the time dilation and all these time jumps back and forth this season, it's hard to keep track of how much time has actually passed with each character. That's the thing! Fucking, what? Echo waited 5 years in, like, that purgatory place, Skyrim, whatever, and then, like, meets him again and he's dead and is like, oh, it's okay. I can let go now. What? Which is another criticism I have with this season, by the way. If there's any time jumps back and forth, I'm going to have an aneurysm. Yeah. The deeper point of Echo's line was that Bellamy was too far gone anyway, which there was insufficient evidence for. Absolutely! That's what I'm saying. We never really sat down and learnt what he had, like, had visions about, or we never heard his side of the story. Well, I mean, we as the audience saw it happen, but the characters didn't. They just assumed that he was too far gone. Especially when you consider he only just came back and they've barely interacted since then. Exactly. Overall, I just believe Echo and Octavia's level of emotion, or lack thereof, did not match what I would have expected, given that we know how much they love Bellamy. Yeah, I swear to God, the only reason it happened was because they didn't have time to write in tension between those characters. Also, did you guys not find it really weird that, like, Echo was hugging Clark? Like, they've never really interacted, really. I mean, maybe once or twice, but it felt really random for those two characters to hug each other. I know she was comforting her, but it just felt really weird and kind of out of character. Whatever. Especially for, like, Echo, who, I swear to God, doesn't know how to control her emotions at all. That motherfucker was going around stabbing people just to get Bellamy back. Like, stabbing every person and killing them. And it was like, oh my God, stop it. You're doing the bad thing, blah, blah, whatever. Like, and then all of a sudden she's good. Shannon, I know you're upset and confused. I know I was. At this point, I legitimately thought they were trying to beat out Game of Thrones for worst ending of the show ever. Which is funny because I constantly called the show Game of Thrones light for the first few seasons. Anyways, at this time I realized a technique that helped me keep my sanity in these last few episodes. Instead of anger and confusion, try passive aggression and immediate acceptance. Bellamy gets converted into a cult? Sure, that might as well happen. It's not like something like this literally happened already and he had already learned from it. Clark shoots and kills Bellamy? Sure, that might as well happen. That definitely is the best way to end that friendship. That's the problem, though, is that I don't want to accept it. I want the creator of the show to realize what a fuck up this was. I know the creator's not going to be watching my videos, okay? I know this. But on the off chance, on the like 0.0001% chance that, you know, he comes across this and realizes, I want a formal apology, because this is terrible. Alright, and then the next episode we've got some much longer comments, so I might stumble over my words. But we're doing this. Dear Shan, you introduced me to the first season of The 100. I was surprised by how quickly what I expected to be just another teen show developed maturely and depth. I was intrigued, so I sped ahead. Binging the following seasons, I discovered several things that I liked about the show. It created cool and diverse characters that you naturally cared about. These characters were frequently faced with tough and almost inevitable choices that made mistakes and learned from them. Huh. They made mistakes and they learned from them. Huh. It's so weird. It's almost like these characters should learn from the things that they've done. I wonder why they didn't do that in the last 2 episodes. Anyways. They tried to solve problems with the best of their abilities and were forced to discard their first, second, or third, or sometimes even more attempts before finding a solution, which rings true of real life and with confident regularity. At times, cruelty, but the most justifiably, the show also took away some of these characters, leaving a palpable and incredible mark on the survivors and the viewer. Overall, it did so with good, coherent writing, which took minimal storytelling liberties, much less than you would have expected from a typical CW show. You could say I was hooked. Few other shows have had me holding my breath at the tense moments like I did with Bellamy's group themselves struggling to breathe on the arc at the end of Prime Fire. Yeah, that was great. I will read just a moment though. Sorry about that, just had to turn the fan on a bit more. It's quite hot in here. Then came season 5, which for me started the steady downward spiral of the show. I agree. The most painful aspect of season 5 was the character assassination of Clark, and to a lesser degree Octavia. Clark is lost to motherhood in the worst possible way. She uses the maternal drive to protect Maddie as an excuse to make morally dubious decisions that may give her a short-term advantage while losing the long-term perspective of the survival of the human race, let alone Maddie's own agency. The overprotective mother trope is the first trickle of the flood of bad writing that eventually washes away the whole show in the remaining seasons. I agree with you right here. I think that while Maddie is a character that I kind of like she's okay. She's not like an annoying teenage character like a lot of, you know, whatever. She's not annoying. But I think that you are absolutely correct here in saying that the fact is that Clark seems to choose Maddie over saving the human race. Like, she's lost her sight of what's important. I understand that, you know, if you're a mother, like, your child comes first, but we're in a situation in this show where literally the entire human race is at stake. There was, I think it was season 3's finale, where Clark's mum was getting tortured and Clark just let it happen because she had, I don't know, she had the flame or something. Like, she knew what was important. She could clearly see what was more important. She didn't want her mum to get tortured, and it took everything in her not to give in to that and, you know, give over whatever the hell they wanted, right? But she saw the correct path to take, and that was the survival of the human race. But since having her own child, Maddie, she seems to prioritize that over, you know, the survival of the human race, and it's kind of devolved her character a lot. I don't like Mama Bear Clark. There were still so many things I enjoyed about season 5. The biggest part was the puzzle of trying to find a peaceful compromise between the convicts and the new grounders, excluding Clark and Octavia's chaotic efforts to sabotage the whole thing. Yeah. Another part is delving into the bunker's dark year, which was both brutal and compelling. Overall, the strength of the writing took a considerable dip over the previous seasons. Finally, the whole thing went off the rails in season 6 and 7. Among the many things one can criticize, my main gripe is that the strength of the writing and the consistency of the story, which took a huge further nosedive. I won't go into the details, as you've already pointed out many of the problems in your reactions. My position is just a bit more negative, but I have to make a special remark about the Second Dawn backdoor pilot. Try to say that 3 times fast. I feel that it's a massive retconning is guilty not only of bad writing, but also erasing grounder culture. Their language is not their own. Instead of having organically evolved and deformed from English over more than 100 years, it was created by a precocious kid. Their tribal names are not their own kind, not their own. Instead, they are imitations of a name of some lame environmental group. Yeah, I agree. I wasn't a fan of all of those retcons. Their mistakes are not their own, burning Becca at the stake. Instead, they are committed by the villainous Second Dawn, etc. I won't even go into the further character assassination of Bellamy, Echo, Abby, and even in part Raven. Yeah, they destroyed Abby as a character. I could not stand her by the end of the show. By the end of her arc or whatever, There were a few things I still enjoyed about the last 2 seasons, mostly character moments. Murphy's character arc springs to mind, but in the ideal world of my imagination, the show ended in season 5 on a compromise that allowed the last remnants of the human race to peacefully share Shallow Valley and what remained of Bunker. I'll never know what changed after season 4, but I'd like to believe that it was something major, like one of their best writers leaving, or unbearable pressure from the studio, or collective conflicts within the production team. I have no idea, but you're right. In some older video you asked us who our favourite characters were. Mine was Monty. He was the most compassionate of the lot, had solid and intelligent moral core, and he learned quickly not only from his own, but also others' mistakes close behind him, and for similar reasons were Lincoln, Kane, Raven, and Maya. It was a good ride. Thank you, Shan. I'm sorry you had to suffer through these last 2 seasons, but it was vindicating seeing your frustration and anger over it. Yeah, see, that's the thing also. Here's another thing that's really good about reactions. Sometimes you find people actually agree with you, and it can be very vindicating. I was really pissed off last week when I watched those 2 episodes, that I was like, there's no way, because you guys hadn't commented yet. I was like, there's no way that this stood well in the fandom. So I went and I watched a couple of reaction videos, and even they were mad. They brought up some interesting points as well. So it's it feels really good when someone agrees with you, and when a whole fandom pretty much agrees with you, that also feels good. I think season 5 is better than season 1 in my opinion. I disagree. I loved season 1. Season 1 is literally the reason I wanted to watch the show. When I binged season 1 for you guys when it won the poll, I remember after it was over, I was in a call with Tony, and I was like, I really want to watch more of The 100. Like, I really do. I am so hooked. And then he had just uploaded all the episodes because I was excited about it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it part of the full schedule. I don't remember what it was. I was... Once Upon a Time ended. And then, you know, put this on the schedule. And then every week I was hankering for some more. Like, give me more. Like, I would watch 2 episodes and then I would, like, immediately go into a call and be like, I want to watch more. Can I watch more, please? And I would have to wait a whole week. I haven't felt that way since the end of season 4. The cliffhanger for season 4, like, where, you know, the ship came down, and I was like, oh, what is that? You know, like, I was curious about it, but I wasn't, like, hankering for it. I was okay to wait that week, because there's a week break between seasons and stuff. I was okay to wait a week between the seasons, but I was still curious about it. But I haven't been hurting for more episodes like I used to. This is my personal ranking. 4, 2, 5, 6, 3, 1, 7. But I still like season 1 a lot, and I like a lot of moments from season 7. I actually personally loved the backdoor pilot. I thought it was really good. It had a really good job with combining all the season's lore into backstory that made sense. Most of the choices they did for the backdoor pilot made sense to me, and by far the best episode of season 7, and one of my favorite episodes of the series as well. I'm sorry you didn't like it. Shannon, you spell my name wrong. I don't appreciate that. This makes no sense. What the fuck is happening? This makes perfect sense. I've never been happier about a last season. Well, then you would be one person out of, like, everybody that I've spoken to. I mean, it's okay for you to like it. That's fine. You know, we all have different opinions, but, you know, just so you know, yours is wrong. Alright. As well as, you know, you spelling my name wrong. So, I mean, there's that. You about misremembering something happening in an episode a few weeks ago. Maybe you haven't edited this yet. You do realize who you're talking to, right? Yes. Wait, hold up. Shade Hater's name is Malachi. Who names their kid Malachi? That's just asking him to be evil. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, Bellamy was misguided, not crazy. He got shown a way to stop the needless violence. He went about it the wrong way, though, decided to follow Bill and his nut jobs instead of informing Clark and the rest of the friends about what he saw in a rational way. Instead, they put a white cloak on him and he became emotionless drone, and then tried informing Clark and them. Yeah. Absolutely. So Abaddon's... Oh, wait, no, hang on. While editing... I'll put this here since the scene happened in between these notes. Bill and his loonies are trapped in a nuclear reactor. It is established in the next episode that he has some sort of pill or whatever that lets him teleport back to Bardo. Why not just use it there? Why pretend to be trapped? We planned this from the beginning? Sure. Yeah, I don't know. This whole, like, teleporting thing just kind of came out of nowhere as well. Especially since it was really, really weird. So, like, hang on. Like, hear me out, okay? I understand that they had, like, some kind of tagger, I don't know, stabby weapon, okay? Stabby weapon. It's called a knife, Shannon. I understand that, but you notice when it was used on Octavia, she turned into, like, that green stuff. That green smoke, whatever. Green energy, whatever. When Maddie uses it, she also turns into the green energy. Why the hell did Bill turn into white? Like, he turned into, like, some white light for a second. And it was like, why? Also, he had a pill? Like, since when do we have pills to do this? I thought they said something about it having to be deeply embedded. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. I think the idea of them having a fucking pill to teleport them back is just absurd. You have a Stargate. You don't need a fucking pill. What the fuck? That kind of defeats the purpose of the Stargate. I don't know. So Abaddon's boyfriend got killed by Raven, and Abaddon decides to let Raven live with it. I mean, good, but still. Then we have Indra, whose father got killed by Shade Hader, and she lets him live as well. I'm sensing a repeating pattern in this one episode. Yeah, so the only reason that Indra was let him live was so that he could be like, oh, by the way, ha 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 ha, by the way, you should go look at that notepad. There was no logical reason that she would do that. I'm just saying. Clark could have shot Bellamy in the leg, but then the remaining people there take the book and nope out of there. But yeah, needless death for the sake of drama, I guess. We hit the quota for letting people live in this episode. It just all happened too fucking fast, didn't it? It just like in the last minute, it was just like, you're dead now. I'd like to take a moment and point out that Clark and them just gated to Earth. Not only is Earth supposedly uninhabitable, which nobody is talking about, but okay, which we find out has miraculously restored itself, but also they got yeeted into the bunker underneath Polis, a place where, for some odd reason, there's never been any sighting of the anomaly.
TV show's got a TV show.
Disciple Dude to Gaia. The closing bridge defaults to the planetary origin of our DNA. You mean to tell me that this DHD stores the information of every single life form in the universe and knows exactly where to teleport them in case of malfunction? Fruits, keep in mind that there is 100 billion stars in our galaxy alone. And let's say 1 billion of those stars have planets orbiting around them, with the potential of life on them. These DHDs store the data of all of those life forms, and so they can safely bring them back to home in case of an emergency? This was just bizarre writing. Like, this was literally like, they needed to come up with some reason why they were back on Earth. I really don't know. It makes literally negative 30%, like, cents. Negative 30 cents. You know, because, 0 cents makes 0 cents. It makes negative 30. It makes even less sense than 0. Yeah. Anyways. So here's the issue. Clark to Echo and Octavia about why she killed Bellamy. Maddie, it's sketchbook. I don't even care what she said after that. If it was me in such situation, I would be like, well, I wouldn't be like, well, he was gone anyways. Bodies would have dropped. She could have tried finishing the story while drawing her last breath. I'm not saying I care about Bellamy. I'm saying the response to Clark was very unrealistic. Especially since she doesn't even explain, like, none of them go, where's the sketchbook? What about the sketchbook? Nobody follows it up with any questions. Nothing. Also, yeah, she didn't just try to get that book back at all. She killed Bellamy and then just bounced. Yeah. Octavia and Echo say they're okay, and you're looking around the room like you're trying to find your sanity. I'm deceased. Yeah, that sanity is long gone at this point. Furious typing during the intro. I see where you DM'd me. Yeah, I literally... What did I say? You guys literally midway through recording last week, I literally, like, just started spam typing. I said I can't imagine this went down well in the fandom. Not a single one of them is mad about it too. What the fuck? Octavia and Echo? What? Oh, he was gone a long time ago. It's okay. What the fuck? And now they're on Earth again. This is fucking stupid. Yeah, that was me spam typing. I had feelings. Why? You mean to tell that Jordan and them never figured out to look down and try to find the anomaly stone? Oh, you know, we're in a bunker, but surely the anomaly stone isn't on one of the lower levels, right? So not only does Bill have the book, but he also has Shade Hater, who probably has the memories that Bill needs to start his last war. Good job, Clark. Your killing your bestie had zero impact. Especially since, like, why are we going after Maddie if Shade Hater should have the same information in his head, right? Why are we not asking him about it? Why is he alive? He should be dead. Indra should have fucking killed him. Whatever. Look, I have feelings. Yeah, I always know you'd like the earlier seasons of the show and would find a fuck ton of issues with the last 2 seasons. I uploaded this for you when you said you wanted to watch more, since I wanted you to have a show that you actually looked forward to. But you and me are the same. And since we're nearing the end anyways, I'll let you in on a little secret. I finished the show for the sake of completion. These last 2 seasons were not the show I signed up for. In fact, I very much remember I thought season 6 was the last season. And imagine my surprise when I find out it got renewed about a week before season 7 started airing. So I reluctantly watched it, only to find out how it ends. Let's end this, fruits. Oh. Why does Bill need Maddie? Can't he just use the mind read thingy on Shade Hater? Uh-huh. I'm sure he has the same information that he seeks in his mind as well. Or does Shade Hater only remember things he specifically has done and not anything regarding those who came before him? And if so, why does Maddie remember more? None of this makes sense. Yeah, we're supposed to believe that Shade Hater had more was commander longer. Because Maddie was not the commander for very long, let's be real. I mean, technically, she kind of was, because, you know, stasis. Cryo, sleep, whatever. But, not really. Why would they send a bomb through to Earth if they still needed Maddie? I know we're dealing with time dilation here, but she just noped out to Bardo 2 seconds earlier. Even with time dilation, there is no way Bill could have met Maddie on Bardo and then decided to drop a bomb on Earth. That decision was made while Maddie was still on Earth. And so the writers decided to up the stakes for no valid reason. Correct? Also, you're right, the bunker has withstood several ends of the world, but a little bomb? Nah, bish, this was stupid. Yeah. Yes, it was. It very much was. So, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary folk, it's been 44 minutes, and we haven't even started the episode. Do you know an episode is about 45-ish minutes, 44 minutes? This one's gonna be a long one. Anyways, let's get into the penultimate episode to the series.
Thank God, I thought you...
Oh, there's a piece of rebar in her.
were hurt.
But this?
It's just a scratch.
Every time a character says it's just a scratch, it means they're dead. They're gonna die. It's literally just like, that's the kiss of death. Okay, stab's just gone. Cool, cool.
And you must be Maddie. My name is Levin. So glad you've chosen to join us. It's okay. Just have a seat right here. I know it looks scary, but don't worry. It won't hurt. Pain interferes with the readings.
It's not too bad.
Just lay your head back and get comfortable. I'm gonna start by going through a baseline scenario. Imagine you're in an endless desert with a vast purple sky. A hand reaches out for your own. Who's this it? Hologram mode. Neural link engaged.
Well done, Maddie. I know you're afraid, but if your mind contains the final code, it'll all be worth it.
You're wrong.
What do you mean?
Gabriel said Jordan studied the texts. You think it's a war because you want a war. But it's actually a test someone has to take.
I'm sorry, but I find it unlikely that a boy who studied the text once knows better than those of us who've spent generations with them. That said, translation is as much an art as science. After all, what is war but a test of might and will? So, if Jordan is right, and it is a test of a single individual, then that's a good thing. Maddie, I don't want a war. I don't want to send my children to die. If I could spare all of us the pain of fighting, then I welcome that test.
Your children are dead.
Forgive the interruption, my shepherd. We received a signal from Earth. 2 nanotags have been activated.
Maddie's people are no doubt worried about her, but she'll be with them soon enough. For now, leave them there. They'll thank us after we've transcended, taking them with us.
We're ready to begin. You doing okay, Maddie?
Yes.
I want to show you something.
They seem to use Maddie a lot for,
Think back to this image.
like a damsel.
The system malfunction?
No, sir. Maddie, I need you to be very still now. I'm going deeper. Just focus on the drawing. What else do you remember about her?
Nothing. I don't know.
Sir, it's strange. This particular memory is not registering in any of the areas that memories are usually stored.
She drew things that she couldn't have seen. Those memories are in her mind somewhere.
Sir, I would have to search much deeper than just the cortex. It's extremely dangerous, and I've never done that before.
They tell me you're the best. I trust you. For all mankind.
One last war, and then we transcend and we become light.
It's a beautiful idea, but fighting is not how we get there. War is a failure of everything, which is why it's a test, not a war.
Test war. The disciples have been studying the Bardo text for over 1,000 years. You really think you know better?
Yes. And it's not just
'Cause
that
he's the
I
main
read
character.
some old books. I felt it. That red sun toxin showed me something. I couldn't figure it out, but I knew it was important. And then I read the Bardo texts, and it hit me. The next step in human evolution. I don't claim to fully understand it, but in my heart, I know there's a purpose to everything, and we don't find out what it is by killing each other in another war. I just wish I could have told Bellamy.
Nonsense.
Nobody
All
had
that
a
matters
chance
now
to
is
talk
saving
to
Maddie
him.
and killing
They
Maddie.
just killed him.
There's no last war or test. Bellamy's dead because he believed that crap, and I've heard enough.
Bellamy's dead because you shot him. For a sketchbook that you don't even have.
What the hell was Maddie thinking? She just left without even talking to me.
Sounds like someone else I know.
All I ever did was try to save people.
While putting yourself in danger.
She's doing what I did, trying to fix everything on her own. Is this how my mom felt every time? Because I feel like I can't get enough air. Did I do that to her?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to.
And I'm sure your mother knew that. Just as Maddie doesn't mean to hurt you. It's not easy. Loving someone who puts their own life at risk. Maddie went to Bordeaux to save us. I'm proud of her for that.
It makes Bellamy's death even more useless.
Bellamy to protect her from the disciples. Not so she could turn herself in. Everyone I love dies.
And
I
you're
can't
the
keep
one that
doing
kills
this.
them half the time.
Not again. If I lose Maddie too, I'll have nothing. Be nothing.
I can
Oh,
show you how to
maybe you
steal
shouldn't
your
have killed
mind.
Bellamy.
If you let me, Clark.
She's losing too much blood. I don't think it severed the artery, but we need to cauterize the wound.
Well, that sounds like fun.
I just wish I had a proper anesthetic for you. Not as much as she does.
It's fine, John.
Ruffy, put pressure on this.
How about you distract me?
That's a good thing there's a fire there.
Well, you just imagine that we're laying down on Kaylee's giant bed, drinking Joe juice, just you and me.
You hated playing primes.
Yeah, but you loved it.
That's enough for me.
Yeah, I did love it. This is the first time I mattered.
You mattered to me.
That is not true. You always mattered to me.
You ready? When I say so, you uncover the wound, all right? 1, go. It's over, it's over, it's over.
You did so good, you just gotta hang on with us now, okay?
Hey! I heard screaming!
Did you find Echo or any sign of the others?
No. Whatever that explosion was, the hallway is completely collapsed. For now, we assume they're okay. But I was able to get into the infirmary. This is all I could find. Maybe it will help.
I can't do surgery off my pack. I need an actual surgical theater, sterile equipment, medicine. I need to get to Sanctum.
The helmet showed me the stones in the rec room. We find it, open the bridge, and jump over.
What about Maddie? What about the rest of our friends?
We will worry about them later. Right now, you are the priority.
Yeah, damn right.
That's true.
We only have one problem. We couldn't find the stone.
Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there.
What?
Why is there an Asgata symbol on the floor?
Don't know, don't care. All I know is X marks the spot.
Allie will get the flame either way.
None of us is ready for this. I'll always be with you. With you. Ready for this. None of us. None of us is ready for this. Not ready. We're not ready. Not you. Especially not you.
What's wrong?
I saw everything. Becca went to the other side. She said he's not ready. I'm done helping you.
Becca and I had a disagreement a long time ago. We're only seeing her side of the story. She may have been right back then, but I've spent centuries preparing us, improving us. Now is our time.
Let's start again.
I said no!
Stop it, you're hurting yourself.
Guards!
Step aside, disciple Levitt. Take it easy. Stop resisting. You'll only get hurt.
Again, Mr. Levitt.
Sir, we need to do this another way.
There is no other way. You're too close to this. You're dismissed.
Hold her down.
Summon Shona.
Yes, sir.
Leave me alone!
This is for all mankind. Levitt departing MCAP.
I just came from the Shepherd. The nanotags from Earth. He wants those people brought over.
Good choice.
Now,
I thought he ordered us to ignore them.
I suppose he changed his mind. Who might have questioned that?
Good choice.
Fine. I'll go tell the Shepherd that you refuse this order. He can come here himself.
Wait. Bringing them over. It'll take me a few minutes to relink to their tags.
It's working.
Yeah, why is it
I'm next.
white glowy?
I don't want to be alone again.
Sometimes, to do the right thing, you have to take a risk. Your mom knew that too.
Her mom dying really didn't serve the story at all, really, did it?
But now,
Now we have faith.
Where are they? Where's the bridge? What is this?
War preparations. We moved the bridge to a strategically advantageous location.
Where?
You can do that? Sure.
When you get to it, I want you to go to Bardo.
What?
Forget taking me to Sanctum.
If I'm right, then by now, Maddie already turned herself in. Cadigan could already have the code to start the last war.
We can't let him doom all of humanity. Stopping him's more important.
Screw that. Jordan claims it's a test, not a war. And for all we know, that's crap too. I'm not letting you die.
We already lost Bellamy. That's too much, Raven. If it's a choice between saving me and saving everyone, you choose everyone.
She's grown so much as a character. Remember when she was super, like, selfish? Survival-based?
John, he won't be able to. But you're strong. You can make the hard choice, like Clark. Like you did in the reactor. You can.
Lori, no, Lori, I made the wrong call. I treated Hatch like a pawn. I should have given him a choice. I wouldn't do it again. And I won't do it now. I'm done watching.
I mean, other guys died
People
too,
I love
but
die.
we only focus on Hatch, apparently.
You're being stubborn.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. I am saving you. And then I'm gonna save everyone else. That's kind of my thing too.
Yes! It's the stone, Amori.
Okay, but you're still gonna have to dig it up.
Amori. She's not breathing.
I can keep her blood circulating, but we need to get back to Sanctum. Work faster, come on!
Oh, since no one's shooting, I suppose that means you need me. What would Maddie think?
That's enough. Both of you. We need to stop Cadigan.
I tried, and for my troubles, they locked me up here.
Here's the deal. I'd love to kill you, but you're right. We need you. We set you.
How is he, like, healed? I don't really understand
draw
it.
the disciples away from MCAP.
I'm not some petty distraction. I'm the High King of Sanctum.
Okay, Your Highness. Then we walk out of here and lock the door behind us.
Distraction it is.
Attention, sheep!
I'm here to kill your shepherd.
Prisoner breach. Send reinforcements to level 4. Go!
How does he know how to use a gun? I thought that was something that the Grounders had to learn.
Detained on level 4.
Is that the best you can do?
That's it. I can see the last symbol now.
Are you not pressing the buttons as you're hitting it? I don't really know. Oh, it just breaks itself out.
Gotta go. Now!
Thank you. We're not losing anyone else.
I'm back for Mother. Let's go.
He's not here. We knew that was a possibility. We'll deal with Shadehead later.
You grew up with these people.
That's war, Levin. It looks exciting in hologram mode, but this is the reality. Come on. Right now, all that matters is getting to Maddie. Looks like our diversion worked. Levitt, you go in first. They won't see you as a threat.
They could be invisible.
Maddie, I'm here. Maddie? Something's wrong. She's breathing. Why isn't she responding?
Is she brain dead?
I'm accessing the history now.
It's okay. Maddie, look at me. Hey, say something. Say something. Say something! Oh, my baby. My baby.
She's locked in.
Clark, she knows you're here.
Hey, baby. I'm here. I'm right here. Is it recoverable?
What? No. The areas of her brain responsible for voluntary movement have been destroyed.
Clark. No. I'll do it. I'm not letting you live with this.
I love you so much. Don't be scared. Just listen to my voice, okay?
You'll codeless stay or not.
No. He got the code.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
It's test code. Are you sure?
Hologram mode.
He got what he needed and left her here? We have to stop him. If one man represents the entire human race, it can't be him.
We can still stop him, but we have to go now.
Are they just gonna chicken out and not actually put her out of her misery?
You've wanted this your whole life.
Before you, I didn't have a life.
I'll come back.
I'll be back after I stop the test. And I
feel like the show's chickening out here. You're just gonna leave her here? You're literally gonna be leaving her here, which is what he did. So what? That's not any better. The show just chickened out. They should have put her out of her misery, I'm just saying. To be continued. Hey, what's up you guys? Quick interruption here. As you are no doubt aware, these past few years have been tough on all of us. And there are some things that none of us can hide from. The cost of living, for instance, food and things like electricity, gas, and water have all gone up, and they continue to go up. Now, I don't really like to advertise this, but in order to afford keeping the lights on, the camera running, and to be able to provide you guys with new content like this very edit, for example, I feel I need to let you guys know about how you can help support the channel and myself. I have a Patreon that if you pledge to, you're helping support the channel, and in return, you can get a vast amount of content that you wouldn't regularly get on YouTube, such as full unedited reactions to my regular content, a ton of other shows and movies that you probably don't even know that I've reacted to. A link to this can be found in the description below, and it really does help the channel by keeping me and my very cute cats alive. Think of the cats. If you're interested, you can also check out our website, which is also linked below. Perhaps there's some shows and movies there that you didn't even know that I reacted to, but you always wanted to see. Please know, pledging is entirely your own choice, of course. You're welcome to stay here on YouTube and wait for the edits to come out. No worries. I'm not going anywhere. More edits are coming. I understand not everyone is in the position to support creators, but any help is welcome. Anyways, thank you for your continued support, whether it's through YouTube or on Patreon. You guys are the best. Now please, enjoy the rest of the video. Alrighty, well that was the 100, season 7, episode 15. I don't like that end. There's no reason why she should have stopped. She should have put her out of her misery there. Like, the only reason that they didn't do it was because they were too scared to. I don't know. What was the point? I fail to understand why being interrupted saying, you know, who got the code means that you can't execute her. Oh, execute. Put her out of visiting. I don't know. You literally were like, your fight is over, and then it's like, interrupted. Okay, let's continue on with the story, like, without... That feels messy and, wrong. It just doesn't feel right. I don't know. Amori's not doing very well. And I don't like that. The episode was okay. As stakes go, like, for, like, the penultimate episode, I feel like there's been higher stakes. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought, and I will see you tomorrow for the last ever episode. I'll see you in the next one.